All right, well, let's talk about social media and Western independence. We've got an incredible time ahead of us and an incredible tool at our disposal. When I started the Alberta Independence Party, what, well, depressingly, 25 years ago, we had, I believe, 15 to 20% of our members even had email. It was a lot of phone calling, door knocking, every possible way to reach people. Now, we've got this incredible tool at our fingertips. Anybody from their household can reach out and potentially have something go viral. They can reach whole new levels of people at next to no cost or no cost at all. And when we're talking about building a grassroots movement, a movement where people are talking one on one and building that support, that base for independence that we need to get a referendum over the finish line, social media is such a perfect and beautiful tool to do that we have available to us now. It's going to be a game changer, but it's a tool. And like any other tool, it has to be used right. And it can cause more damage than good. You put a powerful tool in the hands of somebody who's unexperienced with it, and they can make an unholy mess and even hurt themselves. And I mean, there's whole seminars on, you know, social media use and being great on it. I'm just going to go through some of the basics for some folks, though. Just if you're going to keep that targeting in mind, right? Like we want to build a support. I keep saying, keep an eye on the prize. Make sure we're pushing for a positive vote for that independence referendum, and that means being diplomatic to a degree, timing when you're going to get your messaging out and to whom and how you're going to do it, and avoiding some of the pitfalls out there. So I'm seeing, and this is an area where I fall, make mistakes at times too. I mean, X, for those familiar with me on it, that's my main playground. I have nearly 70,000 followers there. I interact a lot. I get a lot of messaging across. I get upwards of 10 million impressions a month on there. And I have a persona and a strategy and a thing I do on there. It might look like I'm just a bit erratic. And sometimes I am. Sometimes I'm just throwing stuff out there. But often my there's a method to my madness on there. And there should be with all of your social media appearances. And I'm just going to talk about a few of the things. I mean, part of it, how did I build that following? Why do people take some of it seriously, at least on there? Part of it's avoiding the pointless battles. I mean, as people know, X is the most vitriolic of all the social media platforms. It's where the hornet's nests are going. It's also where all the media are. It's where a lot of eyes are. So it's important, but you've got to present yourself carefully on there. The trolls abound. One of the things I say right off the bat, block on every form of social media. When you've identified somebody who truly is trolling, if they're just there to get a rise out of you, or if they're just belligerent, or if you're trying to get messaging for independence out and they're making it clear that absolutely 100% in no circumstances will they ever support independence, block them. Why would you want to give them a platform? You see, because that's what's happening. You've got a goal in mind and you've got nothing to benefit, win, or gain by letting them on your platform. And people say, well, don't you value free speech? Sure I do. And they can speak all they want, but I'm not going to give them my microphone to do it. And they do this with strategy. The left does this on purpose. They do what's called ratioing. They have email lists. They will nail an account with a whole bunch of people just barraging it with negative messages to shut it down, to shout you down, similar to the rally for independence in Edmonton the other week when some protesters were on the other end screaming with their bullhorns, trying to stop all the discussion altogether. They don't want, that's the ones who don't want free speech. So you know what, just, you can't do it at the legislature steps, but on your social media account, you can just block them. Some people say just mute. No, don't do that, because they will screw the discussion going on below your point that you made, and you won't even be able to see it. They will derail the discussion. I mean, there's longer conversations about algorithms, things like that. Why do some postings on any type of social media, but in particular on X, why do they go viral? Why do they get in front of more people? Well, the algorithm with X loves seeing responses. It loves seeing people talking. It's seeing discourse, and it'll share it and get it in front of more people. So if you said something brilliant or you feel it is and you've got it out in front of others, you want it to get in front of as many people as you can. But if that whole discussion has gone down the tubes so badly and so vitriolic and a bunch of people fighting with each other, it'll die on the vine. Because again, it's amazing how prescient these things are and what they can read and realize that this is just not a productive thread and we're not going to put it in front of other people. Just block them, get it out of there. You don't want to build an echo chamber. Absolutely not. In fact, you want to interact with the people who are on the fence. Those are the main people we want to talk to. They will question what you've said. But they'll be genuine. And you want to be genuine back to them. Be polite. I know I can be a little rough on X, but it's typically only once people work me up. As well, if you're going to, you've got to watch for some that play the whataboutism game. And they'll do that in every type of social media. And you'll get that when you're door knocking, when they're trying to hold you up if you're doing things. And they just keep hitting you with question after question after question. You realize eventually, actually, these people aren't genuine anymore. They're just wasting your time. They're walking you down a garden path. Stop communicating with them. Don't give anybody more than really one response per thread, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram or X or any of them. Just one response and let it go. Especially if you're going to debate with somebody and you got upset. I take shots at people on there, absolutely, but watch my account if you get a chance then. Because I'll hit them once and then I back off. Because if you want to lose followers, you want to get people bored with you quickly. If they're constantly seeing you fighting, 20 posts in a row back and forth with one person or a few people, they're gone. That'll happen on Facebook, or Meta, as they call it, and other things like that too. So don't get into those big, long, drawn-out fights. You will lose your own followers, and people will lose interest. Avoid anonymity. Now, this one's harder, I know. Some people, they're worried for their jobs. They've got other reasons they got to stay anonymous, and that's fine. But if you want to make an impact, a real person and a face behind it, especially when in a world where it's so evidently full of bots, if you're real on there, you're going to have much more impact on people. But I'm just saying, use social media tactically as a tool to get out there and interact. I said it before, becoming an independence ambassador, and that involves speaking to people at a family dinner, at your favorite sports pub. But your social media platform is another way to do that too. But watch where you're going to put that, right? On Meta, it's a great one where you mostly are going to have friends and family and you can have extended posts. But if you're going to respond, don't spam people's threads. Don't have somebody talking about Aunt Edna's wake and then jump in there and said her wake would have been a hell of a lot better if there was an Alberta flag behind the coffin. A time and a place. If you just keep inserting yourself where you don't belong, you're going to again put people off and infuriate them. But by all means, invite discussion on these platforms too. Just do it with care. Do it with care. We really have to get that base out there. And I mean, some of those other things, when you're enraged, you're annoyed, when you see postings where somebody's got all capital letters and and then the old term for that's even from the old chat rooms in the 90s, it was called shouting. And I tell you, my eyes turn away when I see that. Just don't do it. Likewise, don't fill a whole post full of a whole bunch of emojis and weird cartoon stuff and everything else. The algorithms don't like it, and your average viewer doesn't like it. But by all means, use social media. Bring out your points. And you don't have to rush to answer a question. You don't have to be the first one in line. If somebody's asked you a question, don't jump into it if you're not 100% sure of the answer. You can take your time, even if it feels like it's immediate. Research, have a look, see what they were asking, and give a good nuanced answer to it. If you rush, you might give the wrong answer, and then we all make mistakes, but you lose credibility if you start getting known for flippant answers that aren't correct. Check with others. We want to build that base. And as I said, watch for letting others. This is going to be a battle. This really is. There's going to be so many opponents. As this gains steam, it's going to get rough. Watch for the bots. Watch for the people who are just looking to derail you. And as I said, the only way they get power is if we give it to them. On my account, I could throw out what I feel. It's just mixed. Sometimes they're stupid. Sometimes I like to think they're brilliant. But something on X, I'll throw it up and you get to see all the impressions. And wow, okay, I get 20, 30, 50,000 impressions on that one post. And some ding-dong comes down below and says something stupid and annoying to me. And this is where I slip sometimes too, because if you look at his impressions, and even though he's responded on my thread, he's got like 200 impressions on it, and I've had tens of thousands. But if I respond to him, then I bring my traffic to him, and suddenly he's getting tens of thousands as well. So I just gave him my microphone. I didn't even let him snatch it. I handed it to him. So the harder part for us sometimes is just to learn when not to respond. But when people are genuine, when they're legitimate, when they've got good questions, let's use this social media platform to get out to them. I mean, it's a heck of a lot easier than door knocking. It's a lot cheaper than mail out. And it is organic. It is grassroots. As I said, when it's genuinely another person on the other side of the social media account, uh, people respond well to that. That's, we're having discourse. We've got so much to do. But it looks like we might be heading into a referendum probably within a year. As I'm doing this video, support's sitting about 36%. Sounds great, but that's 14% shy of even a narrow victory. And we're talking more like 20% shy of what really has to happen. That's a lot of people to win over. And the different groups, the different parties, all of that, we're kind of seeing it. They're still trying to find their feet. And they have a purpose, they have a role, and they're important. But nothing is going to beat us reaching out, building that base among each other one-on-one, and using social media as a tool. If a group or a party comes along and blows up and disappears, it's fine. The movement is still there. And social media is our means for it. So, I mean, set up even discussion groups or forums on Meta. That's good for that. Engage with people on X, put up things on Instagram. But if you're going to take on that role of independence ambassador, do it with planning, do it with tactics, do it with strategy. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it really can be one of the things that makes that tipping point for us. It's, as I said, it's affordable. It's something you can do in your spare time. It's something you can do all winter. Make those points, respond to some of those news stories, expand on things, and have genuine conversations with other people. I'm really, pumped about where we are right now, and finally, I think moving towards changing this status quo. But we've got to shield ourselves from the term that's trendy on there, grifters, or the opportunists, or the other stuff that's going on too. The best shield for that is a large grassroots base of support, and social media gives us the means to build that. So let's use it. Let's use it effectively. And finally, yes, the usual plug, but it's the truth. I wrote the Sovereigntist Handbook. I mean, there is a chapter on social media on there as well. Plus, a lot of the things, I cover a lot of those points, what we do about a military, what to do about it being landlocked, how to organize in door knocking campaigns, things like that. These videos, I'm going to cover all of that too. You don't have to buy the book, but the book is available on Amazon. The link to it is down in the video description. And it just helps make us more effective in getting out there and building the base we need to have that winning vote and freeing the West, which we really, really, really need to do. Canada is a broken system. It's got to change. It's got to stop. And we've got the means to do it, guys. And then, yes, I guess I'll throw that final nag out there too. Be sure to like, share, all that good stuff with this video too. It helps. It gets this out to more eyes, more people, and use that comment scroll. Throw the comments in there. As I said, the algorithms love engagement. And send me suggestions. Send me ideas. There's more and more to speak on. I'm going to keep doing this series. I'm doing more speaking events publicly. Things we've got to hit this on all fronts. But things are looking good. But it's a rocky road ahead of us. So we got to take care and we got to do it right.